Eurovision fans, and welcome to my 2020 versus 2021 video. I will be comparing Eurovision 2020 songs to 2021. First, we will begin with the artists that have been the same from last year, and then we will continue with the new artists. Australia. Don't Break Me versus Technicolor. I chose Technicolor. Austria. Alive versus Amen was a very difficult one for me because I feel like they're both equally as strong and they have different things that makes them good. I decided to give Amen a point. Azerbaijan has Cleopatra versus Mata Hari, and unfortunately I find Mata Hari is a really bad sequel, unfortunately, so Cleopatra gets a point. Belgium has Release Me or The Wrong Place. I have decided to give The Wrong Place a point. It is a better song. Bulgaria has Tears Getting Sober versus Growing Up is Getting Old, and I decided to give the latter a point, so another point for 2021. Czech Republic has Kemama versus Oh My God, and for me, clear choice is Oh My God. Estonia was a really hard decision for me. The Lucky One is pretty good, but I have decided to stick with my initial favorite, I guess, which is What Love Is. Georgia was an absolute no-brainer for me. Take Me As I Am was so much better than you. Greece is Supergirl versus Last Dance, and I thought they could do better, but Last Dance does not convince me, so 2020 gets a point. Iceland, Think About Things in 10 Years. I was not a huge fan of these songs, but I do prefer one over the other, and 2021 and 10 Years gets a point. Ireland, Story of My Life versus Maps. I think the better one is Maps. Israel, Fakir Libi and Set Me Free. I think what Fakir Libi had, you can't find it just like that again, so 2020. Latvia, Still Breathing and The Moon Is Rising. I don't know. Could be easily a tie here, but I guess I'm gonna pick Still Breathing. Lithuania, On Fire and Discotheque. I think both are pretty good, but I do have preference for Discotheque. Malta, All of My Love and Je Me Casse. 2020 gets a point. Moldova, Prison versus Sugar. I think it's a clear choice, Prison. Oops. The Netherlands, Grow or Birth of a New Age. It's another clear choice for me, and in this point I pick 2021 entry. North Macedonia has You and Here I Stand, and I think You is much better. Romania, Alcohol You and Amnesia. Amnesia is pretty good, but I do have some special preference for 2020 entry. San Marino is Freaky and Adrenalina. It's a really hard choice. I would pick Adrenalina. Serbia and Hasta la Vista versus Loco Loco. I do have a preference. It is 2020. Slovenia, Voda versus Amen. I really liked Voda, so it's really hard to beat that. It is 2020. Spain, Universo versus Voy a Quedarme, and I prefer quite clearly Voy a Quedarme. Switzerland, Repos de Moi, Tout l'univers. Me trying French, oh my god. Wait, my preference is 2020. Ukraine is Solovey versus Shum, and I prefer Solovey. United Kingdom is My Last Breath versus Embers, and I think Embers is better. So this concludes the first part of this video, all of the returning artists, and the rest are new. Let's see. Albania, Fall from the Sky versus Karma, and I prefer their old entry from 2020. Croatia is Divlji Vjetre versus TikTok, and I think there is a no-brainer. Croatia is better in 2021. Cyprus is Running versus El Diablo. And I would be really stupid if I didn't pick my last year's winner, so it's 2020. Denmark is Yes versus. Should I attempt to pronounce it? My preference is Yes. Finland is Looking Back versus Dark Side, and I do really like their last year's entry, but unfortunately I have to give a point to 2021. France, The Best in Me versus Voila. I prefer Voila. Germany, Violent Thing versus I Don't Feel Hate, and my preference is Violent Thing by a long shot. Italy, Fai Rumore versus Siete Buoni. Even though I do like the 2021 entry, I think nothing can actually reach Fai Rumore. Norway, it's Attention versus Fallen Angel. My preference is Attention. Poland is Empires versus The Ride, and I prefer 2020. Portugal, Medo de Sentir versus Love is on My Side. I prefer 2021. Russia, Uno versus Russian Woman, and I prefer the joke entry, which is Uno. And the last one is Sweden, Move versus Voices. And I generally am not a huge fan of Swedish entries, but I really liked last year's entry, so Move it is. The final tally is 23 wins versus 16 wins. So 2020 was much better for me, personally, and I knew that for a really long time. It was really obvious. I'm just not a huge fan of 2021, and I'm now really getting sad that we didn't have 2020. Like, what do you think? Do you agree? Do you completely disagree? I don't know. That must be like some special connection if you completely disagree about every single decision that I made. Tell me in the comments below. I want to hear. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye!